You're good to go.
Thanks. Good morning, everyone. This is a public meeting of the School Board of West Bend Joint School District Number 1. 24 hours prior to the meeting, notice of the time, place, date, and subject matter of this meeting is posted at the entrance doors at the Education Service Center and on the district website. It was also sent to West Bend Community Memorial Library, Daily News, WIBG, the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, and other media sources that have requested notice of our meetings. I'm going to ask Superintendent Jen Limmer to confirm that this meeting is properly posted.
Yes, it was.
Great, thank you. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, everyone. And we have a number of people joining us by phone. We have some folks here in person. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask for a roll call. And so I will get up my roll call sheet here. And if you're here, please say here. Kurt Rebholz. Here. John Donaldson. Here. Melanie Erga.
Here.
Joel Anders.
Good morning, here.
Nancy Justin is excused absent. Tanya Schmidt.
Here.
And Chris Weigert is here as well. So we recognize the quorum of the board with 6 members present, 2 in person, and 1, 2, 3, 4 on the phone. All right. Also participating by phone, we are glad to have Director of Human Resources Lenny Hansen here, and of course Superintendent Wimmer. So with that, we have a very short agenda today. But before we approve the agenda, what I'd like to do is ask Mr. Hansen just to kick us off a little bit, because this is a special board meeting and there's only one agenda item. Just wanted, if you wouldn't mind giving a little background on this meeting and why we're here.
Absolutely. So when we get close to the start of the school year, there are different units and staffing and contract approvals and things like that. So this is a special meeting to approve several contracts as well as a few resignations. We actually did the same thing last year, just a few days before the school year started as well, where we held a special meeting in order to get contracts approved so some individuals would be able to start with the rest of their teaching staff colleagues. And that's also important because of statutory rules that require that individuals be released from their previous contract in a manner that times out smoothly alongside when their new contract begins. So having a special meeting is much appreciated, obviously by me, but very much so by all of the individuals that have contracts or resignations coming forward, as this allows them to move forward in a smooth manner in their employment process.
Great, well, thank you for that background. We appreciate it. A little background noise on the call, so for those who aren't speaking at the moment, if you could keep the phone muted, that would be great. However, you're going to have an opportunity to speak here very shortly, because now with that background, Mr. Hansen, thank you. I would move to approve the agenda that is in front of us. Is there a second?
A second.
Thank you, Mr. Rebholz. Motion second to approve the agenda. Any final discussion? Hearing none, because we have folks on the phone, I will ask for a roll call vote. Ms. Erga?
Yes.
Ms. Justin is absent. Mr. Angert?
Yes.
Mr. Rebholz?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Donaldson?
Yes.
And Mr. Swigert votes yes. So that motion carries. So we have an agenda. So in front of us, we have, as Mr. Hansen was saying, contracts and resignations. And as we normally do, we take this up under a consent agenda. So under our consent agenda, we have the contracts as presented. Just checking my notes here. There are 9 contracts recommended for approval. And
there are 10.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, thank you for that. And then resignations, I have 3. Is that correct, Mr. Hansen?
That is correct.
Great, thank you. So 10 contracts recommended for approval and 3 resignations to accept. Any questions on the consent agenda? Hearing none, I would move to accept the consent agenda. Is there a second?
I second that.
Thank you, Kurt. Motion second to approve the consent agenda. Any final discussion? Hearing none, I'll take a roll call vote. Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Swigert votes yes. Ms. Zergott?
Yes.
Mr. Donaldson?
Yes.
Ms. Justman is absent. Mr. Reynolds?
Yes.
And Mr. Anders?
Yes.
Great, thank you. So that takes care of the planned items on our agenda, but as part of our agenda today, I wanted to make a bit of a special recognition here. So as part of our agenda today was the acceptance of the resignation of Laura Jackson, our Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning. And I'm just going to invite Laura, who's here today, to step forward to the podium.
Good morning.
Good morning. Laura, we couldn't let this meeting go by without an opportunity to thank you. And so the board wants to thank you, Laura, for your dedicated years of service to our students, schools, staff, families, community. You've led during some of the most unique times in education. And I remember when I joined the board, you were serving as interim superintendent. And besides that, you've served as instructional leader. You've navigated the shift to virtual platforms that we've seen. Your work has touched thousands of students, and what we want to do is congratulate you on your new role in another district. And we know you're going to continue to positively impact students with your work. So Laura, thank you very much for your service. We appreciate it. And although there's a small audience here today, we're going to give you a round of applause.
Thank you so much. It's certainly been a pleasure to be here and quite an honor. And I've gotten to do things I never thought I'd get to do, new opportunities, new learning for myself, as well as everyone really in the district. And so it's been a wonderful opportunity to be here, an opportunity to grow and to serve and to see all of the transitions and people thriving through those. So thank you so much. And I know the district will do well and will thrive and grow, and it's on the right track. So I'm looking forward to watching the success.
Great. Well, thank you, Laura. And again, best wishes in your new opportunity as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, we've reached the end of our planned agenda. Is there any other business to come before this committee? This board? All right, hearing none, I would move to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kurt. Motion second to adjourn. I will now do another roll call vote. Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Anders?
Yes.
Ms. Justman is absent, excused. Mr. Donaldson?
Yes.
Ms. Zergott?
Yes.
Mr. Reynolds?
Yes.
And Mr. Swigert votes yes. Very good. Thank you, everyone, for attending today and for taking care of this district business. We stand adjourned. Have a good day.
Those on the phone, Tim,